What's up, everybody? We are jumping into chapter 17 of Count Me In. What has just recently happened is Chris and Karina are building their relationship even more. In the last chapter, Chris finally builds up the confidence to ask Karina for some help because he's still struggling in math, even though he's gotten better. What has happened between him, Karina, and Mr. C, it's been really traumatic for him, so he's not been able to really concentrate on math. So he went outside because he was frustrated with his worksheet, and then when he's outside, he starts to play some basketball. Um, Interesting, because me and Chris have a lot in common. We also have the same name, but we also like to play basketball whenever we're stressed out. But before he takes his first shot, he sees Karina, and they talk for a while, and then he builds up the confidence to ask her for tutoring lessons. She says, yes, of course. She goes over there. He cleans the house. He makes some popcorn. She's like, how do you know I like popcorn? Then they connect on that. And then, of course, you end the chapter off at 16 singing Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, homie. I mean, of course, you end every chapter with Frozen. So now we're on chapter 17. So let's get into it. Papa's hospital room feels like a party on Sunday evening. So many of our friends from the Indian community have gathered to visit and help. They make plans to take shifts at the hospital during the week so mom and dad can still manage their store. Hold on, let me backtrack. So remember, because of what has happened is now starting to go a little bit viral. A lot of Karina's family and friends and just, I don't know, associates, people that her and her family know, they're really concerned because all they've seen is the picture of the shattered glass, and then they've seen the hospital room. They don't know the context. They don't know what's actually happening. So people are like, is he dead? Is he like, they don't know. So now it's looking like more people are actually, instead of just hearing about the story and being concerned about the story, more people are actually coming in to figure out what's happening and what can they do to help. Anyway, let's keep going. When I refer to my dad's friends as Dev uncle and Sri uncle and Ravi uncle, the nurses are confused. How many siblings does your dad have? One of them asked. I explained to them that even though I call people uncle or auntie, they are not dad's actual siblings. I do the same thing. There's some people around that we call uncle, auntie. They're not biologically our uncles and aunties. They're just people that are older that have helped raise us and stuff like that. We Indians call our friends, our family friends, uncle and auntie as if they are blood relatives, I say. Papa is amused by all this, and I know he is really feeling better when he complains about the hospital food. He even teases a nurse, asking her to bring him a paratha stuffed with gobi with dahi on the side. I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation of those words. What? Asked the nurse. It's a flatbread, I say. Stuffed with spiced cauliflower with a yogurt dipping sauce on the side. That's what he wants. Sounds yummy, she says, giving him his pill. Save some for me when you do get it. Mrs. Kumar, one of our family friends, promises that she will bring some for everyone, and we cheer. We are all feeling giddy because we are so relieved that Papa seems like his old self. He looks like his old self, too, having shaved in honor of his visitors. But while smiles dominate in his room, in the hallways, and waiting areas, it's different. I hear snippets of conversation. How could something like this happen? The men called him a terrorist for no reason, just because of how he looked. No one should be treated like that. What's going on in this country? Is it safe anywhere anymore? Thank God the children weren't hurt. There is no escaping our new reality. So that's the conversations that Karina's hearing. Even though when people are in when people are all together, they're happy, they're cheering, they're excited, there's love. But when she hears conversations, it's really a lot of fear, angst, anxiety. Finally, the visitors leave. Dad and I remain while Papa rests, exhausted from all the company. The room is silent except for a hum and occasional beep. I no longer jump every time a machine hiccups. I turn the pages of my book quietly. When the police officers we met yesterday show up, Papa opens his eyes and sits up. "Mr. Chopra," Sergeant Muniz says, "good to see you looking better." "We have an update on the perpetrator," Detective Willis says, "thanks to Ann Maxwell, who helped y'all on the day of the attack." I don't think the word perpetrator sounds evil enough. I prefer our word, monster. Detective Willis fills us in. "Police spotted the car about 200 miles from here, between Austin and Dallas. The driver tried to make a run for it and led the police on a chase." Whoa, hold on. So they found the guy and they went on a high-speed chase, and it says between Austin and Dallas. Now, I don't live in Texas, but I do know that that is hours and hours away. Texas is huge. So if they're in Houston, and then this guy is between Dallas and Austin, I don't know how many hours away that is, but that is, this guy tried to get away because he knew that he was going to get found. And he was going to get charged with a hate crime, and, you know, that's obviously not what he wanted. "What happened?" I blurt out. "Did they catch him?" "Well," detective says, "yes and no. He drove straight into a tree, and his car exploded into flames." What? Dad sucked in his breath. "They had to identify him from his dental records," the detective said. "The monster is dead." The world seems to stop spinning for a moment. Whoa. So this guy just unintentionally committed suicide while running from the police, crashing into a tree, and his car blew up on him. That's like what happens in movies, but I guess it happens in real life too, technically, if you lose control of your car. It kind of sucks though. You want him to seek justice. That's not justice right there. Him just dying. We want him to go to jail. We want him to pay for his crimes. We want him to face the people that he traumatized. That sucks, but okay, let's keep going. The officers are talking to Dad and Papa, but their voices are far away. All I hear is, "The monster is dead. He is no longer walking around and hating on others." I move I move from my chair to sit next to Papa on his bed and hold his hand. We both breathe a sigh of relief. After the officers leave, I call Chris and tell him the news. He is quiet, but he doesn't have to say a thing because after a few moments of silence, I hear him exhale too. Chapter 18. Chris. As we board the bus on Monday morning, Karina points to her blue t-shirt. "My lucky shirt. I need it for my first day back." I smile and point to my striped socks. "My lucky socks. I need them for the math test." "Daniels," Quinn pipes up. "You slumming with the nerds?" See, this Quinn guy. Ugh. See, as a teacher, never mind. Never mind. "Nope, Quinn," I say. "I'm hanging with my friends." See, this guy Quinn just wants to bully everybody. He just wants to bully it. I plunk my backpack next to Diego and Trevor instead of Quinn and his posse. I am changing teams and I like it. The monster who attacked us is gone, but there are still plenty of Quinns in the world. See, now Chris is relating and comparing that dude, that hateful, racist bigot who just killed himself, to Quinn, because you're just evil people, or just rude, mean bullies that just turn into bigots. He's saying, I don't want to be friends with them no more. I don't care if I'm not as popular. I don't care if I'm not as cool. I don't want to be associated with that. When we arrive at school, Ashley tells Karina and me we are going to take a quick detour before going inside. "Diego, Trevor, and I have a surprise for you guys. Come see what we did." They lead us across the soccer field to the tree near the sidewalk at the edge of the school grounds, the spot where it all happened. A big green heart has been chalked on the street around the berry stains. It's just like the leaf hearts you drew on my Valentine, Karina says as she hugs Ashley. Okay, so did Ashley do that though? So Ashley drew green hearts. Oh, and that's why they told the story about the green hearts when they were in third grade. Ashley's a great friend. Get you an Ashley in your life. Then she reads the sign pinned to the tree, also in the shape of a green heart. Spread love, not hate. I love that. I'm going to read that one more time. Spread love, not hate. The few others have copied Ashley's heart and hung their hearts on the tree. They flutter in the breeze. What they've done for us is so cool. It makes me feel that with all of them on my team, I've got the best lineup. See, Chris is saying, I don't need those bullies and those jocks and all these, the basketball team guys who make fun of everybody all day. I like this group of people who spread love and not hate. The ones who are not making lists, making people feel bad about themselves. The ones who are not laughing at Instagram posts where people are crying for help and support. He doesn't want those people on his team. He wants the people who actually do love and support on his team. And I do too. I'm starting to feel like this Chris guy is actually me. Then Karina does her thing. She takes pictures. Click, click, click. We head back to the school building before we go our separate ways. I tell Karina I hope her lucky shirt does the trick for her. And then I add, in my deepest voice, may the force be with you. She cracks up. May the equations work for you. They're so weird, but you love that, right? Like where you can actually be yourself, your true self with your friend. You don't have to act like a hyena. When I walk into the gym, coach is watching me like a hawk. Maybe he's worried about another fight, I think. But instead he comes up to me and says, how you doing, Chris? Okay, I say, why? Miss Charter told me what happened, he says. Coach is a man of few words, but I know what stuff he's talking about. Karina's grandfather is in the hospital, I say, with a bad broken leg. What's happening to this world? Coach says, shaking his head. During gym class, we begin our game. You know what? And let's stop it right there. Because I want to answer that question. What's happening to this world? I don't think it's happening to this world. I think that this has always been happening. Hate crimes have always been happening. Racism has always been happening. But because of social media, you're starting to see it. Because of social media, it's being brought to your face. So in certain communities, this has always happened. But in your community, maybe, Coach, it hasn't happened, but because you see it now on Instagram or Snapchat or the news, now it's being brought to your living room and now you care. Not that you didn't care before, but you didn't see it. So it's always been happening. But this is why we need people like Karina, like me, like you, and everybody else to step up and share and bring awareness to certain situations. During gym class, we begin our game, and Quinn refuses to pass the ball to me. Even when it's clear I can probably make a shot and I yell, Quinn, here! He doesn't listen. We are behind in the first quarter. There's also a moment when I am right under the basket, unguarded. It's like a gift from God. Pass the ball, I yell. Don't. Nope. He passes to his friend Alex. Alex holds onto the ball and dribbles it across the court. Don't. It's as if they can't hear or see me. No. They can definitely see you, Chris. They're not passing you the ball on purpose. That's so stupid. If I'm the coach, I'm calling a timeout, and I'm like, if y'all don't want to pass the ball and actually play good basketball, you can just sit down. Anyway, coach whistles time and gives me a look that says, hang in there. I take a deep breath. The next time Quinn runs to the basket, he passes to Alex, and then out of nowhere, Diego comes charging in like a galloping horse, steals the ball, and passes it to me. I'm so stunned, I almost don't catch it. Diego, another person on the team, comes in and steals the ball from his teammate to give the ball to Chris. I hear Trevor yelling for me to shoot, and I do. I score. Wow. In the locker room, I keep out of Quinn's way, but he finds me. You think you're pretty great, he says, but you're really not. Ah, see, this is a hater. Quinn is not only like hateful, but he's also a hater. And sometimes in life, when you have a hater, don't get upset about it. That means you're doing something good. That means you're doing something positive in this world, because if you're not doing if nobody's hating on you, then you're not doing enough. So the fact that Quinn is now going out of his way to hate on Chris should feel like, oh, if people who hate are uncomfortable around me to the point where they have to hate on me, that means I'm doing something good. Sorry. I always go into life lesson mode. Diego comes over. Chris, he says, let's go. Quinn elbows Diego against the locker as we walk out. See, Quinn's trying to pick a fight. At lunch, Diego, Trevor, and I join Karina, Ashley, and a few others. I notice kids whispering and giving Karina and our table side glances. I know she sees them too. She knows most of them are supportive, but she is adjusting to the attention. I watch her take a deep breath, then lift her burrito. Why can't you trust a burrito? I say to lighten the mood. Why? She says, playing along. Because they spill their beans. Karina laughs. What kind of music does the burrito like? She says. Rap, of course. I say, success. After lunch, the corridor is packed with kids all trying to get to their classes. Karina, Ashley, and I are like salmon swimming upstream. We can't help hearing the murmurs of a bunch of 8th graders in front of us. That picture she posted was intense. Is she the pretty Indian girl? Did you see all the notes and stuff on the tree? Jennifer's little sister is her friend. Her grandfather's in the hospital. Why did they attack him? They thought he was like a foreigner or a terrorist. He's not, though. Oh, Karina. He's not, though, Karina says in a loud, clear voice. A foreigner. Her words ring out, stopping everyone in their tracks. Kids turn to look at her. See, Karina's finally taking it as okay, you got to remember, in the hospital, she's hearing people talk. On social media, she sees people talk. At school, she's seeing the glances, the stares. She always is the quiet one, the shy one. She puts her head in books, but not no more. Not no more. Is she just going to let people just talk and talk and talk around her, about her situation, as if she's not even there? She's going to stand up and actually make a statement, and this is big. Right here on page 101, this is a life-changing situation. My grandfather has lived in this country for 50 years. He is a citizen, a good one, not a terrorist. Nobody knows what to say first. See, this is her standing up like, who else got something to say? A few kids say they are sorry for what happened. Then the bell rings and everybody runs off. Karina hugs herself as if she doesn't believe that she has said something aloud. Chris, should I have kept my mouth zipped? No way, I tell her. What you said was great. It was so cool you spoke up. But Karina doesn't seem convinced. I notice she spends most of social studies staring into space. At the end of class, Miss Trotter gives her a card and a hug. On the bus ride home, I ask her about the card. Miss Trotter said to open it later, she says. Ashley nudges Karina and smiles. Now is later already. Maybe she gave you a gift card for ice cream and you want to treat us? I say, hopefully. Karina pulls the card out of her backpack and tears the envelope open. The card has a globe on it, circled with red hearts. She glances at it and then reads it aloud. Dear Karina, you may not know who G.K. Chesterton was, but he said, we are all in the same boat upon a stormy sea, and we owe each other a terrible loyalty. I am here for you, Amelia Trotter. See, the teacher is not approaching Karina as as a teacher student. She's approaching her as human to human, as friend to friend, as ally to ally. And that's how I feel as well. Us teachers, we have to do a better job of supporting our students as people, not just because I'm your teacher, I'm going to support you, but as a human being, I'm going to support you. And you know she did that because she didn't put Miss Trotter. She put Amelia Trotter, her actual name. Karina hugs the card. We are all quiet for a moment, absorbing the words. Did you know her name was Amelia? Asked Ashley. Amelia. It's perfectly right for her, says Karina. She and Ashley both give goofy grins on their faces. The Chesterton dude is right too. Is all right too, I say. He is on point, says Karina. We are all in this together. That's the truth, Ashley says. When we get off the bus, Karina says, Chris, if I ever get a gift card for ice cream, I will totally share it with you. Can we get sprinkles too? I ask. For sure, Karina says. Because life is better with sprinkles. It's a good way to end the chapter. Chapter 19. Page 104. The physical therapist and a nurse are in Papa's room when we get there after school on Monday. The physical therapist is a slim woman with biceps that ripple, and the nurse is a huge man with a sweet smile. While they talk, I check out the giant card someone left for Papa. It looks so cheerful that a stranger might think that Papa just slipped and fell, rather than the more brutal truth. It is full of hearts and signatures and get well soon messages. Some are even written in Hindi. I take a picture of the card and post it with a bunch of hashtags. Hashtag surgery successful, hashtag haters won't win, hashtag stay strong, hashtag one step at a time, and hashtag support heals. Now, as the physical therapist helps Papa up, she says, you can do this, Mr. Chopra. You have fans out there. Yes, I can, Papa says. Papa grunts as they hoist him up. The nurse and the physical therapist hover on either side. Papa takes a step, and then another. I watch Papa wince in pain as they made him stand for the first time after his surgery. I can only imagine how hard this must be. Papa has to regain his muscle strength and learn to bear weight on his injured leg. Each day, he will take a few more steps. I think back to when we were upset because Papa was reorganizing our house and could not sit still. I remember Mom with her coloring book and Dad stressing over Daniel's fence. And I thought the world was ending because I couldn't find computer paper. I miss those problems. See, and that's big on life too, because we always stress about little things. And sometimes when something huge happens, I would rather have those little problems than this big problem here. The fact that Papa can't even walk anymore. When they were just irritated with the fact that he was walking around too much. Now they wish that they had those problems. After a walk around the room, Papa is helped back into his bed. The physical therapist and nurse joke with him and cheer him on before they leave. Papa's forehead glistens with sweat. I sit on his bed and hold his hand while he closes his eyes for a bit. This is the hard part of the day, but I have noticed that Papa's face lights up when he has visitors. He speaks in Punjabi, Hindi, and English, and laughs and laughs. For a few hours, he forgets the needles and the blood pressure gauges in the long, uncertain road to walking again. I would do anything for my grandfather, and as I sit close to him, I decide that when he comes home, we are going to give him the best party ever. The doctors have said that if all continues to go well, Papa could be discharged from the hospital later this week and then go to a rehab facility for a few weeks. That will give me plenty of time to try to figure out the recipes for Grandma's famous strawberry cake. That's cool. Because at first, she was saying that she wanted Grandpa, Papa, to make the strawberry cake. But now she's like, I'm going to make the strawberry cake for for Papa. because he was saying he was going to make one when Chris gets an A. He was going to make one when Karina um, wins her competition for the photography competition. But now she's saying Karina is like, I'm going to make one when you get through your rehab, uh, physical therapy. When Papa has some energy back, he sits up and points to the album I placed beside his bed. I am so happy you found my album, he tells me. Mom thought it would cheer you up, and I wanted to see if you were always this handsome, I tell him, eager to look through old pictures. Opening the album is like finding a video of laughing babies on the internet. Then you want to watch the next one and the one after. I keep turning pages. Why haven't you shown this to me before? Before, I exclaim when I see pictures of him as a boy with his grandparents. His grandfather looks just like him, and his mother and sisters wear flowers on their long braids and silky saris. I am happy you are seeing it now, he says. You should know our family stories. Papa points to a picture of him and Grandma in front of a blue single-story house. Once upon a time, we lived here. They look so young and proud of being first-time homeowners in their adopted country. See, we planted marigolds in the garden to remind us of India. I lifted the album and took a closer look at my grandparents' dream home. In that house, we had an oven, he says. It was yellow. That is when Grandma learned to bake. Back then, not even the richest man in our small village in Punjab owned an oven. Oh, we felt rich, your grandma and I. Then he turns the page, and there's Grandma wearing pants and a shirt with big flowers on it, carrying a matching purse. Your grandma learned enough English to get a job as a teller in a bank near our house. Her English may not have been the best, but she could account for every penny at home and at work. The pride in his voice is unmistakable. These stories of their early life make me wonder about it more, and I say, what did it feel like to leave everything behind? I missed my family, my mother, worrying if I had enough, had, my mother worrying if I had eaten enough, squabbling with my sisters over card games, and we missed having people around who had known us since birth. We even missed the man in the market who made barfi, the sweet milk dessert that you love, and the woman who haggled over the price of okra and tomatoes. And we missed the smell of the market, the air after the rain. Papa is quiet for a minute and he looks as if he is far away. Then he says, we used to live for those visits back home. But then Rita Auntie was born, your father was born, and this became home. With each visit to India, we felt more like visitors. I'm not sure I understand all he is saying, but I filed the words away so I can figure them out later. That's funny. Because that's what happens in life. When we get older, we remember something that somebody said when we were younger, and then it just makes sense as we're older. And that's what she's saying. Right now, 12 years old, I don't understand what he means by when I left home, I missed it so much. And whenever we would go home, we would look forward to those. But then after going home so many times, we started to feel like that home, we're now visitors there. And then where we come from, actually now, America is now the new home. So she doesn't understand it now, but eventually she will. We keep looking at more pictures till the question bursts out in the open. Papa, I say, are you hungry? Anger has come over me so many times over the last few days, coming in waves that feel like they will knock me off my feet. I'm glad that your grandmother isn't around to see this day, he tells me. What are we going to do, Papa? I ask. For years I thought that maybe people did not know any better when they made fun of our accents, because for the most part, America welcomed me and my family. But now I understand that there are just some people who do not want people like us here. Karina, maybe we have to give back now by fighting for the America we believe in. I nod as Dad appears with coffee. Papa and I get silent. Did I miss something? Dad asks. Papa shakes his head. Dad picks up the photo album. I have not seen these pictures in decades, he says, and flips it open, adding details to the stories Papa had told. pointing to his first bike lying on the lawn in one of the pictures and telling me how he and his sister first baked chicken nuggets in the same yellow oven. As we are leaving, Papa says, "Karina, I know you have been busy, but have you decided which of your pictures you will enter for that competition?" See, somebody had to bring back the competition because, even though this is happening in life, the competition is still there. "No, I haven't had time," I say, and the truth of that surprises me. "Well, do not forget about it," Papa tells me. "We are going to celebrate when you get in the show." And that reminds me, I left some math worksheet in the kitchen for Chris and for you too. Please get them. I want you both to practice. At home, I find the folder marked math, exactly where Papa said I would find it. It has separate worksheets for me and for Chris, and at the bottom of the stack is the cake recipe. My heart searches with love for my organized Papa. He was going to make the cake for Chris when he got the A for me. No, he was going to make the cake for Chris when he got the A, and for me when I got into the art gallery show. Papa had the recipe in there, ready to go for us. Now we will make it for him instead. All right. Last chapter I'm going to read, chapter 20. Typically, on Friday, we order pizza for dinner, a Daniels family tradition. On Saturday, there's usually a basketball game, and on Sunday, we go out to eat after church, and then I do homework. But last Thursday, Mr. Chopper was attacked, and I was called a Muslim lover. On Friday, he had surgery, and I worried all day. On Friday, he had surgery, and I was worried all day. On Saturday, I visited him in the hospital and identified a criminal. And on Sunday, I was told that a man had died, and it made me relieved. Is this really my life? See, just like how Karina was like tripping off of what she had, considered problems back then, and she's like, I wish I had those problems then. Chris is like, how has my life changed so much, so drastically? And he's like, is this really my life? I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks everything is out of whack in the world. On Tuesday afternoon, I can't believe what I seen when I passed the memorial Ashley, Trevor, and Diego made for Mr. C. Everything has multiplied. There are lots more flowers and cards and a couple of balloons. People have also hung a bunch more of the green hearts with notes showing support. Someone has placed a picture of Karina and her grandfather on the tree too. It's almost as if the flowers and hearts are pushing away the hate. It makes me feel so much better to see this. It's like everyone in school knows what's happened now. They've seen Karina's pictures and they have her back. When I see a familiar looking woman walking toward me, I try to remember how I know her. Then it clicks. Duh, I tell myself. It's the lady who saved you when she rolled out. It's the lady who saved you when she rolled out her trash can. If it wasn't for her taking the picture of the monster's fleeing car, he might not have been caught. Chris, she calls out in a voice that's so different from the panicky one she used that day. She reaches out a hand to shake mine. I'm Ann Maxwell. She's carrying a small bunch of flowers and points to the memorial. I was so happy to see this. She asks about Karina and Mr. Chopra, and I fill her in. I want to help in any way I can, she tells me. When she hands me her card, I see that she works for the Lone Star Times. Lone Star, Texas Times newspaper. Maybe she's like a writer in the newspaper or an editor or something like that. Mrs. Maxwell takes some pictures of the memorial. I like to put a picture of this in the paper and post it online. It's such a hopeful sign for our community. I want people to see that love can fight hate. So this is like a great situation because not only can she has the power to spread out the message, but she also has the power to spread a good message to her community. And that message is we don't need more hate. We don't want to hate him. We don't want to hate Karina. We don't want to hate the grandpa. We don't want to hate Chris. We want to spread love. And she can do that in her newspaper. Page 112. Karina has been sharing pictures online too, I say. I'm sure she'd like you to follow her. Has she? I'd love to see him, she says. And I share Karina's handle. Thanks, Mrs. Maxwell says as she walks away. I'll see you soon, I hope. I'm about to ride off on my bike when I spy a menu from an Indian restaurant next to one of the cards. I recognize the logo of the restaurant, Bombay Palace. What's that doing there? I prop my bike and pick it up. Curry Stinks is written across the front in black marker. Undeniable, indelible. I remember that note that was passed to Karina last year, and it's a pretty easy guess who might have put that menu among the flowers. I tear the menu to bits. So this chapter ends not on the best note, but it started on a great note. Chris seeing Anne Maxwell again, the woman who basically saved the day. But then he also sees a hateful message on that full, I don't know, just example of love and support and community. He sees an evil message. Now the thing is what are you going to put your energy into? Are you going to focus more on the love and support, or are you going to only focus on that one little stupid message from Quinn? I hope that Chris, like he did, just tears up that message, tears up that thing, and just moves on, because there's a lot more people that are supporting. There's a lot more people that are loved. There's a lot more people that are helpful. So let's just focus on that. That's it for the day. Remember to rewind, pause, do what you got to do, but keep reading along as we find out what happens next. All right, everybody have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow as we pick up on chapter 21. All right, bye everybody.